Coming up on Club Connect, the Red Hot Chili Peppers stop by to talk about the ups and downs of living and working together as a rock group. The Club Connect crew asked the question, what's the matter with this clown? Also, we'll show you some double take makeovers on Take 10 Fashion with Dana Pink.
I'm Viriya Shaker.
And I'm Natalie Cosby, and today on Club Connect, we've got a really great show for you.
That's right, we're interviewing that really hot musical group, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Also, we've got these awesome fashion makeover tips from Dana Pink, so stay tuned.
And so you'll know, and everybody else out there knows, we're going to be talking about a subject that can really kind of make you feel uncomfortable.
Oh, really? What's that?
Death. Oh. And we're going to tell you how you can help a friend cope with the loss of someone they care for. Now, Viriya, you lost someone very close to you. What happened?
Well, Shelby Thomas was 17 years old. He was like a younger brother to me. I'd known him since he was very little. And we went through a real rough time and a lot of pain when we lost him very suddenly last year.
How did you cope with it? Did someone say something or do something?
Actually, I think I was lucky. His older sister, Sharon, had been my best friend from childhood. So we really clung to each other, and we got support from each other that way, and I think it helped a lot.
Now, I know it's been a year now. Mm-hmm. Has it gotten any easier? Or?
Well, it's funny you ask that, because in the beginning, you feel very lonely. You feel like you've really lost them and they really aren't there. But as time goes on, you feel more and more like they're really there.
The memory lives on.
Yeah.
That is great advice. Well, we're going to be talking to some teens who have dealt with the death of someone they've cared for and how they've coped with it.
That's when we return.
Man, you guys are still on the couch? What is up? You've been here for 6 days. What's up?
That's nothing, Odell. We've stayed together before. Many, many times this man and I have been together before for years on end. And we handle it fine because we love each other. And this is my brother, Chad, and I'm Chad's brother, Anthony, and you're...
My younger brother.
Younger brother. I'm just
like
a little bit,
weeks.
a couple of weeks.
Couple weeks.
This is the Red Hot Chili Peppers, by the way, Warner Brothers recording artists.
I love you.
All right, a lot of people, you see a band on stage, on tour, and everyone thinks that they're the best of friends, but when they go home, a lot of times they don't even live in the same cities. How do you guys get along?
There was a time when it was safe to say that the Red Hot Chili Peppers were one big happy family. In fact, you might even call it a family affair. It's like when you're in a band, it's kind of like being married to 4 people at once, and it's all about the hills and valleys, the dips and the tips, the highs and the lows, and we're definitely gonna hang tough.
I know you guys decided to stay together to do your new album. Stay in the same house, as a matter of fact, kind of cohabitated. Yeah. What'd that do for you? Did it bring you closer together?
Well, it mainly gave us the ability to record without distraction. We could just stay in the same place. In LA, driving is a nightmare to begin with. So this would be the house where we're making our record here. It's pretty much just about the greatest place in the world you would ever want to make a record, because this is where we live. It wasn't like a conscious effort to, bring us into this family, network or something like that. It was just about making a record and being able to focus on what we were doing with as little distraction as possible.
I want to know this. What's the song Give It Away about?
It's a basic, boiled-down inkling of philosophy about just trying to weed out the greed. Okay. And it just seems like, the more you give away, whether it's love and affection or whether it's, diamonds and pearls, just the more you get back. It's about giving it away so you can feel better, without it.
What would you tell someone who's watching, who has a brother or a sister they just cannot get along with, one of, hogs the phone, hogs the bathroom? What would you tell someone to just help them get along with someone they're living with?
Well, sibling violence is a very sad thing. And the funny thing is, I used to have a little sister, and I used to pick on her like crazy.
No.
Julie.
You picked on her?
I used to pick on her. We'd sit in the back seat of the car, and I'd pinch her and I'd pull her hair, and she'd scream, and then she'd get in trouble for screaming. And the thing is, see, I now that I'm older, I really sort of bum out on that experience. When I look back on it, I say, I probably affected her life by not giving her, more affection and understanding. And you should really, do your best to get along, because you've got a mom and a dad, and you want to make life easier for them as opposed to harder. And you find that the easier you make other people's lives, the easier your own life will be. That's right. And your family's the only thing you got. When you get older, you get a couple good friends, and you get your family, and you won't believe it, but you'll travel many, many miles to see each other. You won't believe it right now, but you will when you get older.
Words of wisdom from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Thanks, man.
It takes time. You gotta make sure that you're able to trust them and that they trust you.
You more or less have to kind of feel them out when you're starting to be friends. See if you can really trust them with sensitive matters, family matters or whatever, and that you can have a good time when you're out with them, you know, whatever you like to do, and that you have things in common too.
I like to talk to people who are interested in the same things that I'm interested in. I like that she can make me laugh, and if I have a problem, she's always there for me. She tells me the truth. Like, if I ask her something, she's pretty truthful in her answer.
I like that he's always there and I can trust him.
I'm there if she needs me, and we always have fun, like when we go out and stuff.
I'm always there when someone needs me.
I have a sense of humor somewhat, and I don't take everything so seriously all the time.
What soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun.
Excellent reading, Phil. You know, we might just have a part for you in this production.
Yeah, you know, there have been so many great readings today. Do you think you'll have the cast list up by Friday?
Oh, yeah, it'll be up on the bulletin board.
Is this where the auditions are being held?
You waiting on somebody?
Oh, no. My name's Jingles. I'd like to try out.
Yeah, right.
Gee, the auditions just ended.
No. I've got time to see one more.
Come on, Mr. Crichton. You're not going to let him audition, are you?
Well, why not?
Why not? Look at him. You wouldn't cast a clown in Romeo and Juliet, would you?
Yeah, and what if he was Romeo? He couldn't even climb the balcony in those big shoes.
He'd be running around during serious monologues, honking his horn, and then stealing the spotlight and sweeping it up.
He'd probably hit Juliet in the face with a pie.
And then squirt her with his flour to wash it up.
Yeah, and then I bet he'd give her a handkerchief with ink all over it.
How would he do the death scene? Shoot himself out of a big cannon?
Look, every student has the right to audition, and I plan on listening to them. Whenever you're ready, Jingles.
Thank you. I'd like to read from King Lear. Blow, winds, and crack your cheeks. Rage, blow! Your cataracts and hurricanes spout till you have drenched our steeples, drowned the cocks. Use sulphurous and thought-executing fires. Vaunt couriers of oak-splitting thunderbolts. Singe my blue head.
That was great. I just never thought that,
You didn't think I could do drama because I'm a clown, right?
Well, yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm only half clown. My father was a ringmaster, but I've been up against this kind of prejudice before from people who do drama.
You mean not all clowns do crazy comedy routines with big foam rubber props?
Well, many do if it means work, but so many of us are crying on the inside because we have to miss out on dramatic or even light comedy roles.
You know, I guess I never realized how prejudiced I was.
They say we're all a little prejudiced. I know I feel like leaving when there are mimes around.
I know what you mean. Say, Jingles, we have an opening in the drama club. Would you like to join?
Would I? You bet!
Club Connect has a free information kit for you. Call now and receive a poster, a calendar, and ideas on how you can help stop racial prejudice and stereotypes in your area. Write us or dial 313-8716 and ask for the Race Relations Kit.
Hi, I'm Natalie Cosby.
And I'm Viriya Shaker, and we're here with some teens who are going to share with us their personal stories about what it's like to cope with the loss of a parent.
I'm Amy Henderson.
I'm Mike Hirvela.
And I'm Stacy Hirvela.
Thanks for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you guys. Now we're going to take a look at a video of a family who is sharing the experience of living with a family member that has cancer and how it's changing their everyday lives. You guys, are you ready to take a look at this very personal video?
Dad, I'm getting ice cream.
I think that my mom's just scared in general of what me and my brother, my sister, and everyone else is how we're gonna react to it, and
what's going to happen to us and the fact she's never going to get to see us grow up or anything. I mean, she may not see my next birthday or my sister's next birthday. And I think that scares her.
It's been over a year since Wendy Ward was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. She has had to face surgery, chemotherapy, and the very real possibility of early death. But she has not been alone. Together, the Wards have had to learn about illness and its effects on their family, and they have each had to learn to cope in their own way.
A lot of people will say to me, I could die tomorrow. I could walk out in front of a bus. But what the people don't understand is I have to think about death every day. I have all this time knowing that I'm going to die an early death, and how hard it is to cope with that. I feel cheated and angry because I'm not going to be here for my kids.
I'm going to have to make do no matter what. I mean, even when worst comes to worst, I'm still going to have to go on. I mean, I can't just sit there and do nothing. You can't let it take control of your whole life. I mean, you should just be thankful that you're not being cheated out of today or being cheated out of yesterday.
It's been depressing to me that I'm going to lose my mother. I have no choice. I have no chance. My mother's going to be taken away from me whether I like it or not. I'm not really afraid about anything that's going on now, but what happens afterwards is really scary to me because I don't know how I'm going to handle everything.
In a way, we have a gift because some families lose a family member maybe in an automobile accident, just suddenly, poof, one day gone. And in our case, we've been given a warning. And I've asked them several times to take advantage of the time we have and really make sure it's meaningful for them.
I've been searching for the words to say how I feel.
What's missing more than anything is having a mom that smiles a little bit.
And my mom thinks I'm just denying that she's sick when I say this, but I never really have been quite open, I guess you could say, with my feelings in that, so I don't really talk to anyone about it.
She doesn't want to get close to me. It's almost like she's afraid to get close to me because she wants to prove to herself that she can live her life without me.
The only way to relieve all this stress is if we were perfect. And I mean, everything was done perfectly and everything, but we could always be more polite, and I have to admit that.
I think that it would help if the kids would try and get along more and help each other out more emotionally. What's most painful for me is that I can't take care of them the way I used to. And I have to depend on Paul for a lot more things. Even to go grocery shopping, I can't do that by myself. And that's real painful to admit you cannot do something.
If you could have one wish, one big wish, what would that be?
Not let my mom have cancer.
The only person I'm really worried about is Alison because she's too young to really understand anything. In fact, the other day, she said, Grandma's my mother now. For the first couple of years of Al's life, my mother did everything like, any other mother, but lately she's had to come over and have dinner over at my grandmother's house. And it's been pretty rough on her.
What scares me the most about dying is I'm afraid of the pain. I realize that there's going to be a lot of pain involved, and I've been told I'm probably going to be on morphine at the end. And I don't want my kids to see me suffering like that. I don't want them to have to remember me like that. Just being in a hospital bed, being skin and bones, and probably not even being able to recognize them. And that really scares me.
Even if she does look sickly or very ill, I don't think I'd remember. I cannot talk it today. I don't think I would remember her like she looks. I remember her like she is.
I've just always wanted to do things with my mother that I won't be able to do. And I'd like to be able to tell her what I turn out like in life. That's the only thing that I think she'd want to hear.
We'll survive. I think it'll be because we will fall back on other people in the family, and we'll continue to be a family. That's not going to change. And if anything, we'll be stronger because of it.
Cancer doesn't always kill. Many people survive this disease. Life goes on even if you have experienced the outcome of loss. Call toll-free 1-800-4-CANCER. The National Cancer Information Service can answer your questions and refer you to information and programs you need.
Wow, that's really an emotional piece. I mean, Roxanne and Les are having to deal every day with the fact that their mom is dying of cancer. Now, each one of you guys have suffered a loss of a parent. I know it's been a few years, but can you tell us how you're doing today? Amy?
I'm doing better than I was. Like before, it's been 4 years, and my mom died of cancer. In the beginning, it's always really hard, I think. But it gets better. It gets a lot better.
Okay, how old were you when she died?
I was 14.
Okay, were there other family members or siblings or anything?
I have 3 sisters. They're all younger than me.
Have you had to help them through it?
Well, I guess they kind of look towards me sometimes. And I feel like I have to be sort of like the role model for them.
Now, Stacy, your situation's a little different. You and Mike, it wasn't that you knew that your parent was dying, right?
Yeah,
How did that go?
It was really strange because the weirdest thing was like that whole day my dad had taken us to go water skiing. So we were having like a really good time. And then we got home and he was electrocuted trying to do some work on a telephone wire. So it was real sudden and just the contrast, like the fun of the day and then, you know, the shock of his death. It was really strange.
Now, time's gone by. Are you just able to get over it, or do you find yourself just getting used to the idea that they're gone? Mike?
You never really get over it. I mean, you get used to it. You put it towards the back of your mind, and at first your life really revolves around it. And then as you go on, you know, you put it into your routine, and certain things that you see remind you of it. And others, you know, sometimes they'll bring back good memories, and other times it'll bring back bad memories. But each time it brings back your memory, it makes you think that much more aware of it and how you're getting over it.
Is that the same with you guys? I mean, did anyone say anything that could really help, or was it that you just didn't want anyone to say anything?
I think it's better if they didn't say anything because most people can't really relate to how you're feeling at that time. And if they say, well, I know how you feel, it just makes you feel worse because they don't.
It would have been a lot different if there was someone that had gone through it and could have come back and like associate with it. But to people that had no idea what it was and they just say things, you know, to make it feel better, it really had no help.
Okay, if there's anyone out there who's experiencing a loss of, say, a parent or someone they care about, is there any advice you can give them as to dealing with it?
Well, they probably feel really bad right now, and it's really hard at first, but it does get better, and you'll feel better about it as time goes on. And you'll remember the person, but it won't be quite as painful as it is at first.
The only bad thing that's going to come out of it is that you miss that parent or that person. But in the end, you'll find out that you're a lot stronger, that you can relate to a lot of more different things, and that, you know, people will look up to you with like a different viewpoint because they feel that they can come to you like with more problems or feelings or something.
When someone in your family is sick with a life-threatening illness, it can be difficult to cope. We've got information to help you understand your feelings. Call 313-876-8333 or write Club Connect for your free coping kit.
I'm telling you guys, we're on a
Mission from Bob.
Okay, I know I've said it several times, but he is the boss, and this segment is called Take 10, not Take 45, not Take Your Time, Take 10. We have 10 minutes to make over 2 people.
Tara, this is going to be fine. It's going to be great. Bob likes you. It's not like he's going to fire you or something. It's going to be great.
Oh, sure, should have seen last week when he made me get down on my hands and knees and scrub the club newsroom with my toothbrush.
Tara, I don't think so. It's going to be great. Here, this one up here looks great. Let's try it. Here we are. We've chosen our 2 subjects. We've got Jennifer and John. Florrie's going to do... Glory's gonna do the makeup, Lisa's gonna do the hair, I'm gonna do the wardrobe, and let's go! Lisa decided to eliminate John's part and bring his hair forward for a more contemporary look. Glory thought a soft and natural makeup look was best for Jennifer, using peaches and pinks to complement her own coloring. Lisa wanted to accentuate Jennifer's bone structure and did so by trimming her shoulder-length hair up to her chin. She also framed her face with soft layers to update her look. Here's another example of how a little time and effort can really pay off. Here's Jennifer, here's John. You guys look great. Thank you so much. Thanks to the Broadway and to Begadim of West Bloomfield for great clothes. Thanks to Flory and Lisa from Antonino's. You guys look wonderful, and I'm really happy. I think it took a little more than 10 minutes, but that's all right. No one will know. Tara, is that all right? Tara? Hi. If you have any questions about fashion, please feel free to write us here at Club Connect, and we'll be happy to answer them for you if we can. Thanks. Tara, come on.
Did anything ever get to you? I mean, did something happen that really bothered you? Well, what did you do about it? Well, sometimes you can use that energy to create something. And by doing something positive, it can help you in a crisis. Well, that's exactly what 8th grader Joe Peach did, and with surprising results.
It has been almost a year since my grandpa died. As the Christmas season is coming, I am starting to think what it will be like to spend Christmas without him. My mind also drifts back to the day he died. I go to St. Paul's School in Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan, and my teacher, Mrs. O'Neill, gave us this assignment to write a story or an essay or a poem that was going to go into this Young Writers contest sponsored by Ronald McDonald's Children's Charities.
To write an essay following these rules.
When I got the assignment in school, and since I didn't like to write, I was not too pleased. And I also just couldn't think of anything to write about, because I was thinking along the lines of fiction, like a story. And my mom was the one who told me that I might want to write about something that I had strong feelings about. My grandpa and I were just like best friends. He lived 4 blocks away. I was always over at my grandpa's. He was the one who fed me my first ice cream cone. My grandpa was an engineer, and he was also like a handyman. My favorite things to play with were the things that he'd save me, like old switches and wires and things like that. I didn't like toys from the store. I liked putting all these things together and making little gadgets and stuff. Even now, I might like to pursue a career in engineering because of my grandpa. He made it sound so interesting. I had really forgotten about even entering the contest when a couple months later, I got this telegram at school saying that out of 18,000 people, I was one of the 100 winners. And I had won $250 for my school, and I was going to be published in a big picture book from Falcon Press called America on My Mind. When I found out I was a winner of the contest and my essay was going to be published in a book, I got real nervous because these were my thoughts, and the whole world could see them and read about them, and it left me very vulnerable to being made fun of and things like that. The reaction I got from my friends, a lot of them could relate to it, and they didn't make fun of me, and I felt good that I didn't have to hide anything from them, that they accepted me for who I was and what I felt. When my dad came to see my grandpa, I finally found the courage to go into his room. He looked so peaceful. On that cold winter day when my grandpa died, he took a piece of my heart with him.
Hi, I'm Viriya, and I'm back with Natalie to talk more about how to help a friend mourn the loss of someone they really care about.
You know, Viriya, I think the most inspirational part of talking with the teens was finding out that life goes on, and people do survive.
That's true, Natalie, and it's these tough life experiences that make us who we are today. Also, I think it's important for us to remember that you don't have to grieve alone.
No, there are plenty of support groups out there with people in similar situations who are talking and sharing their experiences. Also, just talking with the counselor, or maybe just getting a friend to listen to you. That could be the best medicine.
That really does help. I have a best friend who listens every time I need to talk, and it helps so much. But if you want to know more about where to go for help or coping, give us a call at 8716 and ask for the coping kit, or write us at Club Connect.
Well, Viriya, unfortunately, our time has ended, but we'd like you guys out there to tune us in at Club Connect next week, where we'll have music,
interviews,
and maybe just a few surprises. I'm Natalie Cosby.
And I'm Viriya Shaker. See you next week.
Show must go on. The show must go on.
My soul is painted like the wings of butterflies. Fairy tales of yesterday will grow